What happened to Tom Brady? There are some other big takeaways, so let's get right into it. In today's episode, I kind of want to start with the Los Angeles Rams, as I did want to pick them to win last night, but I was hesitant and chose Brady, as I don't like to doubt Tom Brady, but he proved me wrong. Jared Goff did play well last night, only threw one interception, but other than that had 3 touchdowns and was just slinging the ball across the board. He did not seem too worried about this stout Bucs secondary, and he was just playing overall very well. A player I did mention before, Robert Woods, was going off last night. Before the end of the third quarter, he was already at 10 receptions and 100 yards. They were using him, like I said, in the end around as a more of a gadget player, and he's just really fast and was getting open relatively with ease against this Bucs secondary. He did score the first touchdown of the game, where he kind of just snuck open in the back of the end zone, and it was really good of him. He's just playing very well this season. Next, the player I didn't give as much love yesterday because he wasn't playing as well, but Cooper Kupp. Wow, that man, his route running is ridiculous. His footwork was making the corners look lost, and he was just making good jukes after and getting more yards after the catch than you would expect. The run game was actually kind of non-existent. The one thing the Bucs did do well was slow down the 3 running back rotation the Rams have. That was their only positive really on defense. Other than that, they were kind of leaving holes in the zone for Goff to just pass to Woods or Kupp. By the end of the game, the 2 wide receivers combined for 250 yards. Kind of ridiculous. Now, to move on to the Rams defense. Safety John Johnson, who I mentioned, did drop an interception. That was kind of his fault. Next, Jordan Fuller, a player I did not mention, had 2 interceptions and was playing very well. He picked off Tom Brady with ease. Next, we have corner Darius Williams, who is a player I kind of want to make a video on. He had a strange entrance to the NFL. He was just making great tackles, and he was keeping up with Mike Evans for most of the game. Surprised they didn't keep Ramsey on Evans, but there were some battles between 20 and 13, but in the end it was more Williams was covering Godwin, or they had Evans because the Bucs were trying to shift them around. For number 20, Jalen Ramsey, he was talking more than he did production on the field this game, and I will say Mike Evans did get the best of him. Ramsey has shut down good wide receivers in the past, like he just shut down DK Metcalf, but he was not able to stop Mike Evans last night. Aaron Donald was getting double teamed as he usually does. There was a stat that popped up showing he was the most double teamed and the most triple teamed defensive player in the NFL. A little bit of those next gen stats for you guys. I didn't see much from Taylor Rapp or Floyd on the Rams defense, so that should about wrap them up. Now, the segment you've been waiting for, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I did predict this team to win last night, and they were looking like they had a couple chances to, but 2 3-and-outs and 2 interceptions by Tom Brady, which was very out of character, just kind of threw them off last night. Brady, who did throw 2 interceptions to the same defensive back, was looking out of it last night. I'm one to not normally doubt Tom Brady, but I do not understand what he was seeing in those 2 interceptions. It did look like his arm strength was kind of lacking. Other than that, I can't really explain why he threw it. The second one especially, kind of just, he thought he had Godwin open and he was trying to push the ball down the field. He just ended up throwing it right into the safety, and it looked kind of awful. It was just tough to watch. Brady, who has had 57 game-winning drives, was about to have his 58th, and he just threw a pick. There's not much else to say for him. Ronald Jones really did nothing last night. 10 carries for 24 yards. That is very bad. Leonard Fournette, 7 for 17. And I was watching. The Rams were just locking them down on the front line, mainly with Aaron Donald. Next, Antonio Brown was leading the team in reception yards, and he was kind of getting open. You could tell he still has his route running ability, just he kind of is a decoy too, because he's the reason Godwin scored that crazy leaping touchdown. Antonio Brown ran a post, and you notice it draw the corner and the safety in, so Godwin was able to have some space and leap for that crazy touchdown. We'll transition into Chris Godwin, who was playing very well, had the Superman touchdown of the night. That was probably the highlight of the game. Next, we had Mike Evans, who was showing he was going to win the battle between Jalen Ramsey. He was playing very well. Mike Evans was able to catch a touchdown in the red zone and draw a couple pass interference calls off of Jalen Ramsey. To move on, the Bucs defense looked very well. They were playing great most of the game. Just they kind of gave up some bad passes in like zone coverage. Just kind of hard to watch. Player I said I didn't know much about, Jordan Whitehead, did get a nice pick off of Jared Goff early. As usual, Levante David led the team with 8 tackles, and Jason Pierre-Paul was playing very well. He did bat down a couple screen passes. His big frame just makes it hard for the quarterbacks to pass like to the side like that. It's really cool to see from a defensive end. He's a veteran, and he's still getting up there really high in the air. Other than that, not much to say for the Tampa Bay Bucs defense. Next, we discuss the Buccaneers' future. They play the Chiefs next weekend at home, which will be a big test to see if this team is a playoff team. They do have 3 easy games where they play the Falcons and then the Lions, and then they do end the season with the Falcons again. Now, I don't see my Falcons beating them or the Vikings, and the Lions just put up 0 points, so those are probably 4 wins, but this Chiefs game will decide whether the Buccaneers are for real in the playoffs this season. As usual, thanks for watching and have a blessed day.
Yo, sweaty night.